The Viking Age, Raiders, Traders, and the Northmen's Saga, Expanded Edition. Hey everyone, and welcome back. 1,200 years ago, a storm erupted from the cold, misty waters of the North Sea. These were the Vikings. And their story isn't just one of blood and axes. It's the story of a complex, artistic, and restless people who shaped the entire course of the medieval world forever. They left behind legends of sheer violence and sagas of incredible exploration. Archaeological digs, like those uncovering the magnificent grave ships, such as the famous Oseberg ship, proved they weren't just brutes, they were people with a sophisticated, artful culture. The roots of the fury and daily culture. Before they were raiders, the Vikings were just farmers, organized into strong family clans under powerful local chiefs known as jarls. Life in Scandinavia was incredibly harsh, and a growing population meant continuous, brutal feuds over the best, most fertile land. To survive, they needed more wealth, and the sea offered the way to get it. More on their culture and way of life. Law and order. Their society was ruled by law, established in public assemblies called the Thing, where all free men could gather to settle disputes and make laws, a surprisingly democratic system. Women's rights. Unlike many contemporary European societies, Viking women held significant rights. They could own property, inherit wealth, initiate divorce, and run the family farm when the men were away raiding or trading. Hygiene. Contrary to the dirty barbarian stereotype, the Vikings were known for their exceptional personal hygiene. They bathed regularly, often weekly, used combs, ear spoons, and even tweezers, and were considered quite clean compared to the people they encountered in other parts of Europe. The ship, the key to conquest. The key to everything was the invention of the Viking Longship. These were masterpieces of naval architecture. They were seaworthy enough to cross oceans but had such a shallow draft that they could sneak right up shallow rivers, deep into the heart of Europe. They also had wider, slower ships called gnars that were solely for hauling trade goods across their vast network. The terror begins. The world changed forever in June 793 AD. The first major sea raid struck the monks of Lindisfarne, one of the holiest places in the British Isles. The Vikings hit like a lightning storm, killing the monks and carrying off treasures, especially silver. Raids escalated as word of Europe's incredible wealth spread. In 845 AD, the infamous leader Ragnar Lodbrok sailed 120 ships right up the Seine to Paris. The French king, Charles the Bold, paid a colossal ransom of nearly 6 tons of silver and gold just to make them leave. Settlers, traders, and brave explorers. The nature of the raids changed when a massive force known as the Great Heathen Army arrived in England, 865 AD. Not just to raid, but to conquer and stay, establishing the Danelaw. Their economy shifted from pure plunder to sophisticated trade. They used fragmented silver, known as hack silver, as currency and set up major hubs like Dublin and Birka, creating global economic routes stretching from Greenland to Baghdad. Meanwhile, the Norwegian Vikings were becoming fearless explorers. Led by Eric the Red, they settled Greenland. His son, Leif Erikson, sailed even further, arriving in North America, or Vinland, around 1000 AD. The final Viking king. The Vikings' ferocity was fueled by their Norse mythology. They believed in gods like Odin and Thor, and believed that dying bravely in battle was the ultimate honor, guaranteeing them a place in Valhalla, the Hall of Heroes. This belief made them unstoppable. But their time was running out. Leaders realized that adopting Christianity was the key to uniting the clans and consolidating power. The last great catalyst was the legendary warrior, Harald Hardrada. After serving as a wealthy mercenary, he returned and became the king of Norway in 1047 AD. But he had his eyes set on one last grand prize, England. He launched his invasion in 1066 AD, but was met by King Harold Godwinson's army at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Surprised, and without their heavy armor, the Vikings were utterly destroyed. Harald Hardrada was killed by an arrow to the throat. The defeat was absolute. Only 30 of his 270 ships sailed home, marking the end of the Viking Age. The lasting legacy. Though their reign of terror ended, the Vikings' legacy is huge. They spurred global economic growth, pioneered advancements in shipbuilding, and enriched the cultures they touched. They didn't just destroy the West, they helped build it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Viking saga and want to hear more stories from history, please hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. It really helps the channel out. What historical saga should we cover next?